Don't forget to subscribe.
Happy birthday, Luke from Cadbury's World. Hello and welcome to Theme Park today, where we are here at Cadbury's World for the first time ever. This is our first ever visit. Let's go. Okay, let's have a look here. What have we got here? Oh, this chocolate we got. Oh my goodness me. That's a lot of chocolate. Oh. Of course, Cadbury's World is now on the Merlin Annual Pass. So that is how we are visiting today by the Merlin Annual Pass. Fantastic. So look at all this chocolate we got. 4 bars each of chocolate for free included. Not free because we're money, but yeah. All this chocolate, wow. Lots and lots of chocolate. Is this all for you? No, that's not all for you. No, it's not. Just a note, the bag is £1 to buy. Optional, but yeah, for the chocolate you need to buy it.
What are you doing? I
Don't know, you're not very well winning the game, are you?
No, not very good.
Just in for a few rooms here, we've got a bit of history on how they make the chocolate. And some interactive games and stuff in the first little bit here at Cadbury's World. So let's start our tour now. I'm going to take you on a tour around the whole of Cadbury's World. Sit back, relax and enjoy this video.
Fashionable people were drinking cocoa and chocolate. I decided to offer them to my customers as well. This was good for my business because tea, coffee, cocoa and chocolate were considered as acceptable alternatives to alcohol, on which we, as Quakers, strongly disapprove. Let me tell you some more about how my business grew and prospered from these very humble beginnings.
Everyone, you're going to make your way over to the first show. Would you like to head on through? Either we go into this one or wait 5 minutes for the next one.
Wall Street, where I set up my business in 1824 to trade tea and coffee. I also sold cocoa nibs I prepared myself, chocolate and coffee beans. These drinks were considered as wholesome alternatives to alcohol, which we as Quakers strongly disapprove. In my spare time, I experimented with preparations of cocoa beans and chocolate, which I could sell in the shop. Soon I had to rent a warehouse in nearby Crooked Lane, where I could manufacture these products on a larger scale. At first, it was very difficult, because I had to pay high taxes on the cocoa beans. And then, on top of all that, I had to move out of Crooked Lane and into another factory, here in Bridgeton. That's when my brother Benjamin joined me, and together we formed Cadbury Brothers. With more space, we could now prepare a cocoa powder and an eating chocolate that could be packed and sold. Soon after, my eldest son, Richard, joined the company. Having Richard with us made all the difference. He saw to it that the quality of our cocoa improved, introduced new products, and even opened a shop in London. Our efforts were rewarded when we received our first royal warrant from Queen Victoria. That was when my youngest son, George, joined us.
George introduced many benefits for the workforce, such as half-day holidays, a sick club, and many improvements in the factory.
And Richard, your new designs for our packaging were a huge success.
Well, we had to try something different, just to get ourselves recognized further, as we were still a small company. Our aim was to manufacture only the highest quality cocoa and chocolate.
I know. And I could tell you some stories of less scrupulous producers who added brick dust to their cocoa.
Ours was still gritty, but we only added sugar to take away the bitter taste and starch to absorb the fat. However, George had heard of a new kind of cocoa press. He went to Holland in 1866, saw the press being used and brought one back.
The Van Houten Press.
Oh yes, Father. You see, because we could extract more of the cocoa butter, there was no need for more additives. Not only was our cocoa essence more palatable, but also output increased.
The Bridge Street factory was now too small to cope, and we had to expand somewhere else.
For some time, George and I had shared the same vision to build our new factory in a garden setting, away from the smoke and grime of the city. We called our new factory Bourneville. We opened our new factory in 1879 and were faced with many more challenges as the size of our workforce increased. As the company prospered, we introduced bonuses, such as payment for output and punctuality, a 5.5-day week, pension schemes, works committees, training, and many other benefits.
I sent my son George to Switzerland to find out how chocolate was made, using fresh milk.
Soon after, Cadbury were able to manufacture chocolate with a much higher milk content that rivaled even the best Swiss products.
That was when we launched our most important new brand. We called it Cadbury's Dairy Milk.
Our story starts over there, where you can see a farmer and his team planting our young cocoa trees. Hello there! Once each pod has been plucked, it is cut open, so that all of the beans and sticky pulp can be scooped out and be fermented in a heap and then dried in the hot sun until they've turned a rich brown colour. Once the beans are dried, they are tested for their quality before being loaded onto a cargo ship to be transported to England. They are then taken to our factory in Chirk for processing. Now, first the beans must be sorted and physically cleaned to remove any stones, dust and string that have come across with the beans from Africa. This is done using a stream of air and by passing the beans over vibrating silks. The raw cocoa beans are now pasteurized using very hot steam. The clean cocoa beans are now taken to be roasted in revolving tubular gas-fired ovens. The beans are then cooled and are ready to have their shells removed through a process called winnowing. This is done by passing the little beans under a series of vibrating pens and hitting them with breaker arms. The shell is then blown away and the remaining pieces of bean are called nibs. The nibs are now ground up in large mills. This process generates heat, which helps to transform the nibs into a thick chocolate-coloured liquid called cocoa liquor or mass. Some cocoa liquor is taken to our factory at Marlborough for further processing. The rest of the liquor is pressed to extract the cocoa butter. The refined cocoa butter is now taken to Bourneville, where we will catch up with it later. Meanwhile, the cocoa liquor that has been taken to Marlborough is pumped into storage tanks, ready to be turned into chocolate crumb. Over 150 tons of sugar and 500,000 litres of fresh full cream milk are delivered to Marlborough every day to be used in this process. But first, the milk must be pasteurised and then evaporated to remove most of the water before sugar can be added to produce a sweetened condensed milk. The liquid milk and sugar solution is now heated again before the cocoa liquor from Chirk is added and thoroughly mixed to create a thick paste. The paste is then squeezed between steam-heated rollers under a huge vacuum, causing the paste to turn into a powder. The resulting crumb is scraped from the rollers, dried in a flow of hot air, and blown into storage silos. The crumb is now taken to Bourneville in tankers, where it is ground and mixed into a paste with this, the cocoa butter, which came from Chirk earlier. The paste is then refined into a flake before being conched or mixed to form a liquid chocolate. This liquid chocolate is used to make all our famous milk chocolate products.
A nice story there on the history of Cadbury. And next room, a few games to play with. Then we move on to the chocolate stuff, the exciting bits.
All the outers are then stacked in layers on pallets and sent to our distribution centres.
Right time. We now go through the history of Cadbury Bourneville, made in Bourneville. Lots of photos here of all the old machinery that they used to use. Right, Tilda, you're going to make your own chocolate. Make your own stuff. Squirting. Squirting the chocolate? Not sure what I'm making. What are you saying? You're writing. Oh. Sucro's name.
Mom, done it. Okay.
Baby, it's cold outside. Lucky that you dropped in. Look out the window at that store. Gosh.
So what you write?
Very good, Matilda.
So do you want your name on there?
What's your name?
Never in the cold. Baby, you freeze out there. It's up to your knees.
What are you making here, Tilda? What are you making? It's random? Wow.
So, in Victorian times, over 100 years ago, there wasn't any machines. So they're pallet knife, and they're pallet knife, this one, you can spread it back. Oh, very good job, Terry. Yes. Yeah. Here you go. Do you want another go? So we just do this part, so spread it backwards and forwards, backwards and forwards.
No, we must start there.
So once you spend it, we're going to get that fish there. So much up. Now, put it straight with the legs, okay? We're going to tap it up. Straight with it. And then we're going to tap it up. Then you want to do that as well. Straight. Then what's on? No, so we're going to put it into a nice little boil. And then when we put it into a boil, that's what we're going to do. We're going to spread it out a little. There you go. We're spreading it out. We're cooling it down. It's going to get thicker. It's going to get stickier. That's it. So then we want to scrape it up again. Okay, once you scraped it up, sit with this one. There you go. Once you got it into a bowl, we'll spread it back out again. Yeah. It's getting thicker, it's getting stickier. Most importantly, it's got to shine, and it's the shine that we want, that lovely snap, okay? And you get the chocolate out of the wrapper. And then we do it again. That's all here, now the age of play chocolate. When you go downstairs, you can have a little pot of chocolate, and a choice of food. Oh my goodness, it is so nice. Don't ruin your appetite. Honestly, it is so nice. Okay, so when you do go downstairs, you'll have a lovely demonstration of what happens after you've untempered the chocolate. So it should be the consistency of caramel that should just literally fall off the knife. So there you go. So well done, you. You are a chocolatier in the making, you are. I think you're a chief chocolatier. Yeah?
Curry Whirly, 3p. You don't get that now, do you? No, no, not 3p. Cadbury's bar, 5p. Oh. Caramel, 9p. How much are they now?
57p.
The Cadbury bar.
The Cadbury bars are about £2.
£2 now, yeah.
Welcome to Cadbury. If you look carefully at the pages ahead of you, you'll able to enjoy the Cadbury magic.
Remain seated. Who's standing? Oh. Oh, hi!
It's time for your photo. Look at the birdhouse over there. Don't forget to smile and wave.
Yes, sir.
It's time for your photo. Look at the birdhouse over there. Don't forget
Hey! Photo! That was a very fast, no, really, car ride there. Now we've got some chocolate tasting next here at Cadbury's World. Hope you enjoyed this vlog so far. Make sure you subscribe to the channel and smash a like on the video. And here you have a quick look at how the chocolate is being made. We're going to go and taste it. How the chocolate gets made. Chocolate tasting now. And you can pick from these toppings, either 1 or 2 toppings you could choose. Trying the chocolate here, Oreo and buttons here, very nice. Can I see you eating it? Oh, Matilda.
During this process, we're trying to get our chocolate down to about 50
good?
degrees Celsius to around 27.5. However, as glass was very expensive back then, you wouldn't find anything.
Oh, I think she's enjoying that.
So they did all of this by.
It was very tasty chocolate, and here you can see they're making some chocolates for the shop downstairs, making a Christmas tree and some teapots.
A lot harder. You compare the back of the mold to the back of this mold I've just made. You'll notice it's not.
We are now going to have a little demonstration of how the chocolate was made back in the day.
Starting off, we're going to hand temper our chocolate, which you would have had a go with upstairs. We're going to spread our chocolate out like so, 2 or 3 times along the table, scraping it back up into a pile again afterwards. So spreading it along the table like this is to just make a massive surface area to cool our chocolate down faster. We're trying to cool our chocolate down from about 50 degrees Celsius to around 27.5. As we're giving it this big surface area on the nice cold marble table, it should cool down relatively fast. If your chocolate wasn't tempered, it would come out with little white or light brown lines through it called heat marks, which would make your chocolate both taste and look a little bit worse. The workers who would hand temper our chocolate were called Cadbury's Angels. It was an all-female workforce, as at the time it was during World War I. As well, John Cadbury did believe the women were more dexterous, so they would be better at tempering chocolate. Once our chocolate is believed to be tempered, we're going to want to check the temperature of it. However, as glass was very expensive in the early 1900s, you wouldn't find any thermometers in Cadbury's factories. So what we would have to do, they would dab their finger around looking for any hot spots within the chocolate, and then they would even taste this chocolate or dab it onto their wrist. This chocolate here does still feel a tad bit too warm, so we're going to spread it out one last time, just to make sure our chocolate is fully tempered. The chocolate is cool enough now, so we're going to get our mold ready and begin placing the chocolate into the mold. I'm going to give it a little tap and a scrape. Chocolate was also very expensive back then, so they would not like to waste any. All of this excess chocolate here would either be used later on in this process, or be remelted down and used in a different batch of chocolate altogether. We're then going to give it a few bites on the table just to pull that air inside. If our chocolate was tempered correctly, nothing's going to come out of our mold whatsoever. So what we're going to want to do is give it a tap and a shake, and out comes all the chocolate. This process here is called shelling, which makes our chocolate both this process here is called shelling, which, as that name suggests, is to make little chocolate shells, so we can put our caramel, our cream, or any other filling you can think of inside. You see now, we do have lovely little shells of chocolate. These shells are then going to be left just slightly harder, like these ones have here. They're not fully set yet, but they are quite a bit harder. They will then scrape that excess off and hand fill each of these shells individually with pipe clamps with their fillings. Today, however, we're not going to be doing that, as this chocolate is for demonstration only and not for eating, so we do not want to waste any fillings. This chocolate now is just going to get covered back over. We're going to give it another little tap and a scrape, and then we'll go into the fridge where it will take about 30 minutes to set. Back then, however, they did not have fridges, so it took about, so we don't know how long it would actually take, but they would put it in cold, dark rooms, and probably would take about a few hours. We're then going to put it into the fridge now. Once our chocolate has set, then we'll begin to look kind of like this. It's a lot darker in colour, a lot harder, and if you compare the back of the mould to the back of this mould here, you will notice that it's no longer connected to our mould whatsoever. So what we're going to do is give it a little tap, and out comes all of our chocolate. This chocolate here, if you want to take a closer look at it, it is covered in heat marks and air bubbles, so it would have to be remelted before any of it, and the whole process would again, before any of it was sold to the public. That's the end of my demonstration. I hope you all enjoyed. If anyone has any questions, please feel free to ask. If not, please enjoy the rest of your day, guys. Thank you for watching.
There's the chocolate. Look, you get the chocolate beans. A Lego chocolate? The chocolate beans. There's the temple. There's a Christmas selection. There's the Christmas trees. There's the Christmas trees. There's all the way behind them. And right here you can see all the dates where the chocolate was first released. The year the chocolate was made. 1904. Who's there?
Which is the correct pair to the featured in Cadbury with Merlin on the 1980s?
Peter told you.
Wow.
That's what we used to say in our day.
Even fudge. All right. Finger of flesh.
Featured in the Cadbury with Merlin on the 1980s.
We saw the Santa show at the end of the day. That is a separate video on the channel. Link in the description. Make sure you go and watch that.
He didn't even say anything.
Here is the Cadbury's cream egg vehicle thing. Happy birthday, Luke, from Cadbury's World. Happy with that, Luke? Yeah, yeah. Bit of a moody there. Wait now, come on, it's your birthday. Tomorrow. That is the end of Cadbury's World tour now. Our first ever visit. What do you think of it? You thought it was rubbish. Rubbish. Apparently it's rubbish. I mean, it's not the most amazing thing. We travelled 2 hours to get there. We came because it's on the Merlin passes. It was nice, worth a visit and stuff. Not a place you want to keep coming to again and again and again. They are doing some work with Cadbury's World. They've got some plans to upgrade it and change it, so hopefully it will be better in the future. Yeah, I hope you enjoyed the vlog. Nice tour around Cadbury World there. Make sure you subscribe to the channel and smash a like on the video.